Did you know that Devil May Cry was originally going to be a Sonic the Hedgehog game? And then when asked, a representative at Sega said, what the hell are you talking about? Get out! And then when asked at Capcom about this statement, Capcom said, why did you go ask Sega? We made it. And it was originally going to be a Resident Evil game. What are you talking about? And then the franchise would go on to sell a bunch of copies and then not get a new game for like 6 years and get a really bad Netflix adaptation. It's bad to be a Devil May Cry fan today.
Looks like we have a winner.
Jackpot.
Devil May Cry. Man, I love this series, but as much as I love it, this series gets bastardized like every other year, either through fandom or just the official company. And like, when you get no new games in over like 6 or so years, it's bound to happen. But we're not here to talk about the whole franchise. We're not here to talk about DMC 3 or DMC 2 or the anime. We're here to talk about one entry that started it all, and is my favorite entry in the series. Devil May Cry 1. DMC 1 is such a magical game. Like, it was a launch title for the PlayStation 2, and it launched the console in such a badass way. I love DMC 1 so much. It just has this certain like edge that the later series, while still kind of having, kind of loses it a little bit. It does lose it a little bit. By the 4th entry, it kind of just completely loses it. It doesn't have that suave coolness that Dante has in Devil May Cry 1, and pretty much the anime as well. Devil May Cry 1, really, there's just something about it that I just love so much. And I'm gonna try and like find reasons. Like, I did the unthinkable this time. I did the unthinkable. I took notes whilst playing this game. That's something I don't ever do. So that doesn't mean this is going to be scripted in any way, but there'll be somewhat of a structure. There'll be somewhat of a structure for this video. But yeah, either way, let's start talking about DMC 1. Let's start with that atmosphere. That atmosphere, man. Melee Island, Melee Castle. God damn. Mwah. It does help that this game was a former Sonic the Hedgehog game. I'm kidding. It does help that this game was a supposed prototype for Resident Evil 4, because it really shows. This game's atmosphere is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good, and I kind of wish that the games kind of kept up with it. The later games kept up with it. I know they had to change it to be the way it is now because of, you know, DMC2 kind of flopping really hard. whilst we still have like some of the gothic kind of stuff going on in the later games, DMC1 just has it perfect. The lightning going down whenever you were like hanging out in these corridors, and the god rays like shining through and everything. It's so immaculate. The soundscape as well, like, really adds to the atmosphere of Devil May Cry 1 so much. You're just standing there, you can hear like the water fountain like pouring, and you can just be like relaxing there. You could just relax there. You could just see Dante doing his little idle animations and just relax and listen to the ambience of Malay Island without any enemies like fucking you over or anything. You could just be like, this is such a cool thing. It's so relaxing, and just running around, even with the like music going on, it really does just like, you could tell this was made by like Resident Evil devs, and you can just tell that they really put their work into just to making this castle like iconic. You know, when you go down into the underwater caverns to go into the ship of Captain Elmo, I can't remember his name. When you go into there, whilst, well, I will talk about the underwater section soon, but really like the lighting, the everything. Oh, by the way, I am showing HD footage. I was going to play this on my PlayStation 2 because I think the PS2 original captures the atmosphere I'm talking about perfectly. Like, the PS2 version of this game is beautiful for early gen PS2. God damn. Why don't we get this in modern day? But either way, yeah, the PS2 version of Devil May Cry 1, that game's atmosphere and just everything is perfect to me. Except its fucking controls. What the actual fuck? Why is circle attack? Why is triangle jump? The reason why I switched to the HD version is because it has the more modern control scheme of the later games. I really wanted to play through the PS2 version, but no, I just could not fucking work with that control scheme. It's terrible. DMC1? What the fuck did you have that? Why? Why did you have that? Anyways, but yeah, this game's atmosphere is so good. The music, it just blends well with it as well, where it goes bam, 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 bang, bang, woo. Like, it's so spooky and so like unnerving. It really just adds to the like just how great this game is compared to the other games in terms of its atmosphere, because it really does, like, I guess it's just because it's a Resident Evil game essentially. In spirit, it's a Resident Evil game with a bug that they got from Onimusha. Like, which happens to be like a samurai type of like Resident Evil game with like fixed camera angles and quite combat focused. I have not played it myself. I do want to one day, but yeah, Onimusha and Resident Evil, I mean Devil May Cry, those are two franchises I feel like are great companion pieces into like this early 6th gen Capcom. I feel like it's a really good like view on how they're going to change the direction of how they do their games with these different like kind of play styles and like characters and stuff like that. I think that really shows how Capcom is going to approach this generation of console, because they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool, and they've stood the test of time because they're quite timeless as well. I mean, unlike the controls, I don't think the controls really are that timeless. The modern controls are just, to me, are perfect. So going on about controls, I think this game controls quite well. It doesn't feel dated as some people would think it might feel. I don't think it feels dated at all. I think, especially if you're playing the HD collection, you'll be quite fine playing it. Like, it plays completely smooth. You'll just be missing some of the later titles, like additions, like weapon switching, like more free weapon switching, multiple guns, and the gun switching from the later games and everything. Like, you'll have to constantly pause to switch guns, which is a bit of a hindrance to do, and it doesn't really lend itself too well to like having fun combat encounters, especially with some of the later enemies, like Death Scissors, and the like the shadows and everything like that. Doesn't really lend itself too well when you want to like constantly like switch your guns just so you can either have faster firepower or even more like more damage coming from your guns, because some enemies, they're not really great to use melee against, and your melee options, which is your fist and your swords, I should say sword, because you don't use like two of them unless you're like early game, and then late game then you use them. We will get on to about the combat soon, but yeah, the controls for the original PS2 version I want to review first. Again, like I said earlier, it's not the best, because I don't know, when I was trying to play through the PS2 version of this game, I was struggling quite a lot. This game is fucking hard. This game is hard. And if it's your first time playing, I remember my first time playing the HD version all those years back. This game is tough. Like, these early Devil May Cry games are tough. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to play properly, because the controls may seem a little bit unorthodox for you, it can be. They're super hard. You'll catch yourself dying, failing jumps a lot of the time, because for some reason they try to make it a platform and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And it really just doesn't really lend itself too well when you're trying to learn these. Like, unless you're someone who gives up really early, where you're like, I can't fuck to be playing this. The shit is bad. Then I'd say try again. Pick up the controller and try again, because once you do learn the controls for these games and how to do the button combos and everything, these are really satisfying games to play. I really, really love playing through DMC, especially DMC 1. I think that game has the more satisfying combat, where there's a bit more of a back and forth between you and the enemy themselves. Like, you can easily route these enemies fine if you play smart, where I spam triangle. Well, I don't spam triangle. I try to do different like moves and everything, because DMC1 has a very limited move set compared to the other games. But doing like million stab and like trying to do kick 13 and devil trigger form and everything, those are some of my favorite moves to do, and it's quite good damage. So like, once you figure out how to properly deal with the enemies that you're going against, it is quite satisfying. Aside from Shadows and Death Scissors, I fucking hate the both of them. Like, Death Scissors, this is just a problem with all the Devil May Cry games. Yeah, I want to say all of them. I guess not two. You win this time, too. You win this time. But yeah, I don't understand why does Devil May Cry, and by extension just a lot of these character action games, have enemies that just go through walls? It just doesn't make sense to me, unless someone is smart enough to tell me why we have enemies that go through walls and completely ignore your attacks by going through them and are massive fucking pricks. I feel like they just go against the game design like completely with them. Like, I don't want to have to fucking wait for an enemy to like slowly go forward through the wall and be like, sorry, had to take a piss break. You know how it is, man. You know, I don't want to have to wait for that. I don't want to have to be spamming my guns just to get them to break. I want to like actually engage with them. I would prefer if they were just still stuck around like all the other enemies, didn't go through walls, and just had a bit more required thinking. Like, oh, you have to parry their attack or something. I feel like the Death Scissors would be a great parrying tutorial. If you would like, yeah, you can deflect their attack and then they'll like hunker back. And if you have the shotgun equipped, shoot them, boom. They're dead. And guess what? They do that in fucking Devil May Cry 5, so why couldn't we just have that in the first game? Like, I get it. It's 2001. 9/11 just happened. Bro, I'm playing on my PlayStation 2. I want to fucking play fun games. So, yeah, I don't like the Death Scissors. And Shadows themselves, I feel like I've just learned by watching a speedrun the other day. I just learned that they're random with their health values. So, when I was struggling against them in the PS2 version and the HD version, it's good. It's nice knowing that they just have different health values. So it's like, oh great, now it's either gonna take fucking way too long to kill them, or it's gonna be way too easy to kill them. I think the randomness is a bit weird, and also their attacks are just so annoying. I do not like fighting Shadows at all. I never liked fighting them in my original playthrough. Like that was like the huge wall that was what stopped me from completing Devil May Cry 1, was just fighting against Shadows. And in my subsequent playthroughs through my live stream this year, I think that I struggled with them, and in my most recent playthrough recording for this video, yeah, nah, I don't enjoy Shadows. It's sad because they have some of my favorite fucking fight music in the whole franchise. It is so, oh, it's so goddamn good. God fucking damn it, man. It's so good. And I know you hear it a little bit earlier with the skulls, the chattering funny boys, but it's associated with Shadow because it's like, hey man, you're fighting this like Shadowcat, this Black Panther, and it's got some badass fucking music. It'll do a little like, it's all like scythe like flippy move, and you're like, oh man, this shit sucks. This fight sucks, but this music fucking kicks. And that goes for the second battle theme. The first battle theme, I think, is okay. It's like a good first battle theme, but it's kind of repetitive. I will say it is kind of repetitive. But the second battle theme, ooh, that shit's good. That shit is fucking tasty. I love the second battle theme so much. And the boss battle themes are also really good. My favorite boss battle theme is Griffin's, or Griffith's. It's so good. I love Flock Off so much, especially in the DMC5 like remix. Of all the battle themes, actually, Nightmare, Phantom, Griffiths, and we can't forget Nilo Angelo. Oh man, his battle themes are so good. It is so goddamn good. I have to stop myself from coming. Yeah, you know what? Talking about the music and the boss music themselves, let's talk about the bosses. The bosses, I feel like... Hi, I'm interrupting this video because throughout editing this, I realized I kept on mispronouncing Griffin as Griffith. And if I did not warn that I was going to keep mispronouncing, I'm sure a lot of people are going to get pissed off. So don't worry, I was also pissed off for editing this, so yeah. Just bear that in mind. I don't have a brain. Are pretty decently designed. I don't think any of them are horribly designed or like don't really lend itself too well to the gameplay. Like, I think each of them have their strengths and like their gimmicks as well. Like with Phantom, you can deflect the fireballs at him in his first fight, or like in the subsequent times you see him when he's chasing you down corridors, you can like easily defeat him and you get a bunch of red orbs and like health back. I attempted doing that in my recent playthroughs. It's best to do that in like New Game Plus or something. But yeah, I think Phantom is quite the first adversary you go against, because he's talking shit to you. He's like, oh, you're just a fucking weak little bitch. You're a weak ass human bitch. Well, Dante's just like, well, man, you got some I don't know, just fucking lame. But yeah, I think Phantom is quite a good first boss in terms of like the first game, but there are better bosses, and I think Griffith, he's not as good as Phantom, despite having my favorite boss song, but I think he is a decent like second like big adversary. And Nightmare, to get like the main like ones you get out of the way, because this game does not have a lot of bosses. In fact, if you wanted to really count them, it only has like 5. It only has like 5 bosses that you go against, and a bunch of them, and 3 of them you go up against like, no, 4 of them you go up against like 3 times each. So it doesn't have much in terms of like boss fights, but again, they're still fun regardless. I think Nightmare is probably the worst out of like the main like memorable 3 of like the demons that you go against. I think that Nightmare's the least memorable, despite having some of my favorite, having like my second favorite boss song, because his gimmick where you have to like light up the room, and then you have to try and not get caught if the room is not light up, and then you would have to like refight a previous boss. I think that one's a bit, I don't really like that. But like the gimmick is cool, but it's just not something I would want to do again, or at least in a long time. But yeah, the Nightmare is kind of a letdown of a boss, especially towards the end. You're like, I kind of wish I was fighting someone else like Nilo Angelo. He's probably the best one in the whole game. I really do like Nilo Angelo a lot. I feel like he's probably everybody's favorite boss fight inside of Devil May Cry. He is just you, but I mean, it depends how much better, because you could easily like loop him or do no damage against him. Like he can be easily fought against, but he's just so cool. Like, I love fighting against him because it's like characters who are pretty much just you, that they replicate your fight style and like your moves from later on as the story progresses, are just such a cool concept. I wish more games would let you just fight yourself, to really put and test you with how well you're doing in the game. Like, I really wish more games would do that, because having a double ganger fight is some of the most badass shit you could ever do in like an RPG, a character action game, just in any game in general. Fighting against yourself is probably one of the best things ever. Like, more developers need to realize that, even if it doesn't make sense in the story, you just put it in, and it's really cool. So Nilo Angelo is like the best boss in out of all of Devil May Cry 1. It was easily the best boss that you all come against, and the last like reveal of him being your brother Virgil is like, whoa. That's great. I guess. I already played DMC3 though, so I know what happens. But in reality, you should be playing these in release order. But yeah, him being Virgil towards the end is like a cool like twist, because you're like when you first see him and he like overpowers Dante going by the neck. The necklace reveals, and he's like, whoa, oh no, I got memories, no, you know, like it intrigues you, and you're like, what the hell is that? What the hell? Why is he freaking out? And then by the end, he reveals that he's Virgil, and he's like, oh, that's so cool. The guy that I was fighting is my brother, you know. I think it's a cool twist, especially at the time. Like I would imagine playing it, you're like, whoa, no way. And then fucking what? He doesn't appear again. Like Virgil, in terms of the story, doesn't appear again until like DMC5, where he's all like, oh, I'm dying. What a weak bitch. He's a weak bitch. But yeah, I really do love Nilo Angelo. He's a cool antagonist, a cool rival, and probably the best boss in the game. And then you have the final boss. What a piece of shit way to end a game, man. Like, what the fuck is that? I hate the final boss for DMC1. And it's not because it's not, I mean, like, replaying it is not that bad, honestly. You can get through that shit quick. But I play like shit. And that's because the controls, again, just don't really lend itself too well. It's a changing gameplay that you haven't had ever. Like, it's completely switched up. It's now that you're doing like the Star Fox sort of like flying around kind of thing. And it just doesn't, it's just not fun. It really isn't fun. And then the actual like fight itself, when you like stop doing all the flying stuff and you go down, you face against him with like Devil Sword Spada. That also, it's like I just used items. I just used items to get through it quickly because I do not enjoy fighting against Mundus or Mundus, whatever you pronounce it as. I do not enjoy fighting against him at all. It wasn't as bad as I remembered fighting him from the last time I streamed it, the last time I played this game. But it's not great, honestly. And that goes for going back to the underwater section. I was gonna have a whole section about that, talking about how bad it is. It wasn't that bad. Like, it really isn't. It just has airplane controls, and it's like, it's unnecessary, but like, it doesn't really, it just doesn't really, it's just not necessary. It doesn't, it's not as long as people make it out to be, or as bad as make it out to be. Like, oh, underwater level, oh no, oh, we gotta fucking kill ourselves. No, it's just whatever. Like, it lasts like 2 levels. Even then, I wouldn't even say 2 levels. It lasts like 1 level, then it comes back like towards the end. But that's like it. That's it. So the underwater section's like whatever. But yeah, the final boss, stinky. Stinky is not that bad, but I don't like it. I think the next things I want to talk about now that I haven't written down in my notes is the characterizations. I think the characterizations of Dante, Trish, they're like the only characters here, because Virgil doesn't really have much of a character. Mundus is just the typical I'm evil, so I think I guess I can count the demons as well. But yeah, the characterizations of Dante in this is probably my favorite, because he's not the wacky pizza man kind of shit that I'm kind of tired of now. He's more, I guess, aloof, if I'm using that correctly. He's like this kind of like subtle cool that you don't really see in like media anymore. At least the media I consume. Like, you don't really see that kind of cool anymore. Like, in like from the early 2000s, I'd say it was the most prevalent. After that, it kind of petered off. It doesn't really appear too much in like a bunch of stuff. And I'm glad the anime, it continues off of DMC1 and not like, obviously it has like things from DMC3 with like Lady appearing and everything, but it doesn't go the direction of Dante's like this like super cool demon skateboarding kind of guy. They play with him more close to DMC1 Dante, and I'm glad that they did, because he's my favorite version of him. He still makes jokes and everything, but he's like more like calm about it. He's like, oh yeah, whatever, man. If you want to try and kill me, then I'll let you do it. Try, you know. And then he will sweep the floor with you. And then he'll probably say like a cool one-liner that's actually like not goofy or whatever. He's just like, well, them's the cakes. That was not cool at all, but you get what I mean. After he's like defeated like Phantom, he's like, yeah, I'm the last one of my father's bloodline, you know, and I'm gonna surpass him or some shit. I really do like that he's driven by vengeance in this game. Like, he's clearly out for like vengeance, and he's like angry that demons are like running amok, and he's closer to the ones that he has killed his like family or his mother. And I really do like that he's like, you know, angry, pissed off and shit, and not just towards his brother, but he's actually pissed off at like the demons around him, because it's like, these motherfuckers really think they should be running around and causing all this havoc, even if it is just isolated on this island. He doesn't want to have that kind of thing befall on like others. The things that happen to him, he doesn't want that to happen to other people. That's why he's made Devil May Cry, you know. Of course, to hunt the demons that killed his family, but to also protect the people around him, because if you read like the mangas and stuff, a lot of people, he lost a lot of people around him. Like the woman who created his guns, Ebony and Ivory, like she died and everything. Like, I really do like this characterization of Dante, and if you really do look below the like surface level, you can still see that in the later iterations of him. But I really do like DMC1 Dante the most, because again, there's a certain charm about him that just isn't there, or at least isn't there as much in the later iterations of him. And I would talk about Trish. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's talk about Trish. Trish, I think, has a decent role in this game. A demon created by Mundus. You know, she's only there to really like trap Dante and like, you know, get him killed essentially. But I think her learning that, you know, devils can also have these emotions, like these like human emotions, because she is pretty much a construct. She's a homunculus essentially. Like learning that she can also feel it as well, I think it's decent character development. She's not like your other like girl protagonist or like antagonist with secondary characters. I guess she is a secondary character. She's not like other ones where they kind of disappear, then they reappear as like a damsel in distress. I mean, she does become that like way later, like towards the final bit, but she is she betrays you at first before that happens. So it's like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's all right. But she does prove herself to be a formidable person in like the beginning of the game, where she's like beating up Dante and does all this stuff, and then obviously she disappears like because this game doesn't really have a lot of cutscenes when you're talking to these like demons and stuff like that. It kind of just goes into it, like it doesn't really have a lot of cutscenes fleshing out these characters, because I think they wanted to focus on the action first before the story. And you will get more of the characters through like the anime, this anime, don't watch the Netflix one, and the books and like mangas that some of them aren't finished, which, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I think the characterizations of these folk are pretty good. They do get fleshed out a lot more in like the later games, but even then, when it comes to the woman of the series, I kind of wish there was more focus on them, because I want to see how they are operating inside of like this universe. You know, I want to see what missions Trish goes on, or what Lady is doing as well, or maybe hell, what Lucia is doing, because we don't really see much of them. Like, we don't really get to play as them either. Like, we get to play as Trish in Devil May Cry 2 once you complete the game. You get to play as Lady in Devil May Cry 4 along with Trish in DMC 4, but then in DMC 5, nothing. You don't get shit. And I've been one of those people, along with others, who wanted to play as them to see how they would adapt that gameplay into DMC5's like combat system. But no, nah, they're relegated to being the bosses, and that's it. So yeah, it's kind of a shame that we don't really get more from the ladies of Devil May Cry, because I really like their characters. I love Lady, I love Trish, and it would be neat to see Lucia again, and see like what she's doing now as well. Like, it would be cool to see in like a mainline title. I don't want it to be in the spin-off. I would love it in a mainline title to see them doing something to like try and bring back Dante and Virgil, or just running the business as they would with like a big threat. And yeah, I just want to see more of the ladies of Devil May Cry. And like, I know it was about the brothers and all that, but like, now that they're gone, maybe a Lady and Trish focus Devil May Cry game with Lucia appearing in it? I'm just saying, maybe, you know? But yeah, I do like the characters, and I like the characterization of Dante and Trish. The demons themselves, I think, lend a little bit more to the generic side, like, oh, we're evil, blah. We don't really have much character going on for them, but at the same time, it doesn't need to be that deep. It doesn't need to be like, I have this long, dark backstory, and I'm doing this because I'm forced to, which, I mean, they are. But they are willingly serving Mundus because, I mean, they're demons. What else are they gonna fucking do? They're not gonna try and overthrow the king of the underworld. No, they're gonna serve under him. That's what they've been doing for all that long, before Sparta went and betrayed them, you know, and fought against them in a rebellion. But yeah, like, like they're not meant to have these deep. Not every character needs to have deep, like, backstories for you to be like, oh, I feel for them. No, sometimes they just need to be evil. Sometimes they just need to go, I eat children. That's it. You know? And I like that. I like that more. And I'm kind of glad it's kind of coming back a bit more nowadays, that we have characters who are just, yeah, I'm evil. I don't care. Like, you know? You don't need some long, sad backstory to justify their actions. No, you just... Some people are just born to be fucking cunts. So, having the demons go, my master Mundus told me to kill you, so I'm gonna do that. Or, you know, I'm bored, I'm gonna kill you, so... Yeah, you beat me, alright. I'll fight you again. Second time. Okay, alright. I'll fight you next time. Third time. Alright, okay. I'm dead now, so fuck you. But yeah, I really do like the characterizations in this game. And just in the Devil May Cry 1 anime. Because it continues off of those characterizations, while slightly leaning more into the current characterizations of these characters. But yeah, Devil May Cry 1, it's a good game, and I think you should play it. And I referenced this a little ways back in the video, but if you're gonna play the DMC games, play them in release order. Don't do chronological story order. That's fucking stupid. Because this is the same thing with like Metal Gear 1, Kingdom Hearts, and everything. You're gonna get so many different. You're gonna get a varied amount of like gameplay changes. Like DMC 1 doesn't have a lot of things that DMC 3 has. You're not gonna get a lot of the things that appear in this. So if you're gonna start with this and then go on to this and say, wow, this game is fucking dog shit, that's on you, because you didn't play it right. You should play things regardless of what fucking people tell you in release order, because the evolution in gameplay is probably the most important thing when it comes to playing a video game. Like, story is like, should be like the second thing you should care about. In all honestly, what the fuck? In all honesty, why does that sound weird to say now? In my opinion, you should really focus on gameplay first. And if you're going to start with the first title, because that's normally going to be the one with the most different gameplay compared to later iterations of the same series, you should really, like, start with that instead of the like third game in the series, because that just doesn't make any sense. Same thing with Kingdom Hearts. You're not going to start with fucking Birth by Sleep, because if you go to Kingdom Hearts 1, nah, dude, you're going to be like, what the fuck? No. I mean, personally, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 feels better than Birth by Sleep, but that's a topic for another day. But yeah, you're going to listen to me. You're going to start with DMC 1. Then you're going to go watch the anime. Right? You're going to go watch the anime. This one, not the Netflix one, because that one's bad and does not actually follow the story of these games. You're going to go into the anime. You can choose to go into DMC 2. And you know what? I'm going to tell you to play through it. Play through both discs. Play through both Dante and Lucia. And then you can reward yourself by going through DMC 3 and actually having a good time. And then you can go into 4 and then 5. And that's how you should go about it. That's the same thing with all other series that has a number 1. You shouldn't go and play the later ones. You need to go and play the first game. Except Metal Gear 1. Metal Gear 1's poo-poo. Don't play the original MG. I wouldn't blame you if you started with Solid, because that's what I did. Yeah. Regardless, you should go play Devil May Cry 1. That game has not aged at all. I mean, it did in a few sections, but it's still pretty cool. So, whether it's the day or night or afternoon, stay safe out there. Don't go too crazy. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video where I discuss the benefits of armpit porn. I'll see you guys later. Hey, if you're watching this point of the video, thank you, because this has been a long time coming, making a traditional rambling video. It's been a long time since I made one. It's been like since September that I made one, and I apologize for not making a traditional one in a long time. But it's been fun. It's been fun making this, recording Devil May Cry 1, and just talking about it, stuff I don't like. I think there are a few bits I did miss out on talking about, like the little details and things like that, but I'm not the person to go for that. I actually watched a video from this YouTuber that I watch, and he made like a 3-hour video talking about DMC1. Obviously his opinions are like different compared to mine, but he still likes the game, but he goes into more depth about what the game holds, and like secrets and story discussion and everything. So if you want to go watch that, I'll leave a link in the description about that, which I've been doing for like a lot of my videos. I've just been putting the links to other videos because I like sharing stuff. I like talking about stuff, and I like sharing stuff with other people because it's fun to do. It's the internet. We need to be doing that, you know, sharing other people's fucking creations. And, you know, be like, yeah, check this person out. This person's cool, you know? But yeah, honestly, the future for this channel right now, it's looking quite bright because I do have ideas, but I want to save them for next year. Like, the next video I will be doing is going to be rambling about this year and, like, the things that I did for the channel. Because I'm looking back on my channel now, and this year alone, we've done a lot. We've done a lot since September. Not September, since January. Like, at least each month has had like an upload or a live stream. So I'm gonna do a rambling about 2025 video in the towards the end of this year, if not early next year. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, we've had a pretty good 2025, you know? I've done a lot for this channel. I actually, like, for the first time in, like, forever, I actually uploaded a lot more than I ever did in this whole, like, channel's existence. And it's, like, what, 12 years of existence, I want to say? Yeah, I want to say 12 years of existence. This is the most I've ever uploaded and like ever streamed, and I'm really like, I'm actually quite proud of myself for that. Like, I actually pursued in like a creative, something I always wanted to do, and it's just sharing, talking about stuff that I like, and just a creative pursuit, because I am a very creative person and I don't want that creativity to die in me. Like I used to love doing drawings and everything, and that's kind of gone, but like I do want to get back into doing that kind of stuff, you know? So doing this, creating videos, live streaming to people, even if it's just one person, it really means a lot. So if you're still watching this, listening to me talking about this, I genuinely do appreciate it, because this is like little like kid me is probably the happiest he could be right now with reaching like close to, I want to say we're at 150 subscribers or 149. Like, we got so much people like just tuning in to this, even though if they're not subscribed, we're just here hanging out, you know. I'm so happy with that. And even in my my downtrodden days and everything, it's been, again, I think it's been a good year. I honestly think it's been a decent year for me working on my online presence. So And I couldn't have done it without you guys. Like, those people just watching, you know, they just happen to see a Devil May Cry video, or a Sonic video, a Ridge Racer video, or just some random video about some game everyone's forgotten, like Chocobo GP. But yeah, I really do genuinely appreciate every single one of you that just happens to come across my channel, watched it, left a like, or just, again, just watch the video itself. I'm just happy that you are here, or you've come and passed by. I'm just happy with that. So yeah, I'm gonna save that mushy talk for the end, for the rambling about 2025 video. And yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have more live streams. By the time this is uploaded, I'll probably have plans for like the next live stream, and obviously the 2025 video. But I do want to like squeeze in. No, actually, I'm not gonna squeeze in nothing. Fuck you. I'm not gonna try to do that. But I will have plans for next year on what games we're gonna play, what games we're gonna like talk about. I just got the idea now of doing like a Resident Evil one when Requiem comes out. Once I had streamed out, I'm gonna actually do a rambling about Resident Evil video in the next year. So yeah, look forward to that, and I'll see you guys in the flip side. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you on TikTok even, because I upload there as well. Like, we got quite a few followers on there. And yeah, so yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I said that already. I'll see you guys.